It's 6 after 6, and Noella Karaniali is right here with the latest in the news on the AM show. Let's begin with our top story. And former Auditor General Daniel Domelevo has accused former Attorney General Ayikoi Otoo of presenting fake documents during the investigations into petitions against former Chief Justice Getsu Tokunu. Now, this development comes after Ayikoi Otoo expressed dissatisfaction with the committee's decision alleging procedural breaches and questioning the authenticity of documents relied upon. Now, Daniel Domelevo, a member of the committee, claims Ayikoi Otoo submitted falsified documents, including a letter signed by the Judicial Secretary appointing the Chief Justice, which he described as fake evidence.
Come to Mr. Ayikoi Otoo's attack on me. I find it very interesting. He said he has provided all the evidence to Mr. Domelevo, a former Auditor General, and I sat there and I didn't take it, and other people, I was whatever influenced my decision, he doesn't know. I want to put it on record that he provided us with evidence that were fake evidence. It will interest you to know that it is the junior of the Chief Justice, the Judicial Secretary, who appointed the Chief Justice. How is that? Yes, that letter he produced is signed by the Judicial Secretary appointing a Chief Justice. So if you follow the briefing that the Attorney General has been given, a lot of work is going on. Will you ask, are you satisfied? I'll say no, I am not satisfied. Because I can't see the end of the tunnel, not to talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. I can't even see it. I don't even see the end of the tunnel before the light, because I know this may continue until there's a change. In fact, the prayer of the corporates and their lawyers is that there should be a change in government. Then you hear nolli prosequa and etc., and our money is gone. The procedure that Attorney General currently is using is going to be very difficult.
Well, let's now listen to Mr. Ayikoi Otoo's response to Daniel Domelevo.
The Judicial Secretary, after the Chief Justice had assumed office, wrote to her, telling her that these are some of the privileges of your office, that you are entitled to at least travel twice in a year. It is this kind of thing that we're trying to prove that it was not an unapproved travel, but it was part of the conditions of service. So we brought the letter, which was signed by the spending officer, who also happens to be the Judicial Secretary, to show the conditions that the Chief Justice was.
But he's saying that letter has been falsified.
So his point is that to talk about an appointment of a Chief Justice, and that was why he was referring to the title. Now, apart from the title, he suspects the letter. And I'm saying I'm surprised, because he ought to know. Again, during the trial, if he felt it was a fake letter, he could have called the Judicial Secretary and quizzed her and asked her, did you sign this letter? So on what basis has he waited since the 1st of September for him to now come out to say what he's saying now?
So this concern was not raised at the time you were meeting the committee at all?
Never. We told that, look, first of all, this is, a lot of you are reading law. Is it for me to bring evidence? Is it not for a client to give me a document to tender on their behalf? So to even, ascribe it to me, it's disingenuous.
Well, let's still stay with politics, because Ashanti Regional NPP Chairman Bernard Enchibo-Siako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, spent the night in police custody after failing to meet a 25 million cedis bail in 2 separate illegal mining cases. He's accused of assigning mineral rights without approval and destroying 13 hectares of land in the Tano Nimiri forest. Now, Wontumi, who has been placed on a stop list and barred from traveling abroad, denies all charges. And my colleague Kweko Asante was in court and has the details.
Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Enchibo-Siako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, is facing 2 separate criminal cases of alleged illegal mining activities involving his company, Akonta Mining Limited. Both cases were heard at the High Court here in Accra, where he has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Chairman Wontumi's legal troubles deepened this week when he appeared before the police CID, prior to being put before 2 different courts in Accra to answer a total of 13 charges, all linked to alleged illegal mining operations in the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve and Samreboy in the Western region. Chairman Wontumi and 4 others, including his Akonta Mining Company Limited, were arraigned on 7 counts of unlawful mining and environmental destruction. The prosecution alleged that Akonta Mining, under the direction of Chairman Wontumi and his associates, operated illegally within the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve in 2022, despite being denied a permit to do so. They are accused of destroying about 13 hectares of land, felling over 300 trees, and erecting buildings within the reserve without authorization. After hearing arguments from both sides, the court in this matter granted Chairman Wontumi bail in the sum of 10 million cedis with 2 sureties, one of whom must justify with landed property. Earlier in the day, Chairman Wontumi had appeared in another criminal court where he faced 6 separate charges for breaches of Ghana's mining laws. In that case, he was granted 15 million cedis bail with 3 sureties and placed on a stop list at all entry and exit points of the country. The court also ordered him to deposit his passport, report to investigators twice a month. The 6 counts in that case includes unauthorized assignment of mineral rights and facilitating unlicensed mining operations, which prosecutors say occurred within Akonta Mining's concession at Samreboy in the Western region. A second accused person, Kwame Entry, is currently at large. Both cases stem from investigations by the Criminal Investigations Department, which found evidence of large-scale destruction in parts of the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve. Officials say excavators bearing Akonta Mining's logo were used in operations that led to the extensive environmental damage, including river pollution and deforestation. Chairman Wontumi has maintained his innocence in both cases. Bernard Enchibo has since failed to meet the bail conditions, at least for tonight, and will sleep in police custody. What these bail conditions mean for NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman Wontumi Bernard Enchibo is that until this trial, in which he is accused of facilitating illegal mining, is concluded, he is unable to travel outside the country, perhaps without the permission of the court. And any time he wishes to do so on any basis, he would have to apply to the court for the court to give him permission, or perhaps for the court to revise the bail conditions. But until then, Chairman Wontumi is not allowed to travel outside the country. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, High Court Complex, Accra.
Now, in a bold move to tackle the long-standing issue of poor punctuality, the Agona East Regional Minister Francis Owusu-Antwi has launched a new offensive surprise workplace visit. Now, the campaign kicked off with an unannounced inspection at the Regional Education Directorate, where the minister issued a stern warning to civil servants across the region, cautioning that both chronic lateness and early departures will now attract strict sanctions. And Asabet has more.
For years, it has been an open secret, a silent drain on productivity plaguing the Ghanaian civil service, chronic lateness and early departures. But here in the Agona East region, the authorities are saying enough is enough. The worrying trend of civil servants attending to work late has long been a concern for government, with direct impacts on service delivery and development. But how do you tackle this culture of impunity? The Agona East Regional Minister Francis Owusu-Antwi is putting a new policy into action. A surprise visit, a clear signal that the old ways of doing things are over.
The key performance indicators that I'm looking at is that I'm looking at the reporting time. Very key, because most of the people, instead of them to report around 8:30, you will be there by 10. They have not yet reported. So I'm only giving them alert so that they can meet the reporting time.
The minister's message was twofold. It is not just about what time you arrive, but also about what time you leave. He made it clear that those who close from work earlier than the official time will also face sanctions.
Some of them too close early. of which we are not going to tolerate that. So this is a general statement in the region. So it is going to everybody in the region. Let us report on time and make sure we close as prescribed.
Regional Education Director Nana Kubiajo Bakatei II noted that the Directorate will take the Minister's directive seriously and will be monitoring officers' movements closely, adding that those who neglect their duties will be held accountable.
We are monitoring every officer, knowing where the person is per time. And we are expecting that within the region, if everybody is able to work within the time on task is also key. Some will be present in the office, present on the field, but they are not producing anything or doing anything productive. So my advice is that everybody should add on to whatever legacy they have left, they've come to meet.
The directive from the top has now put every officer on notice. The Regional Education Directorate, a key hub for the region's development, is now the front line in this new culture war. The message now is clear: clock in or face the consequences. The big question now is whether this shock therapy will be the catalyst for a lasting change in work ethic and productivity. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Nkranza.
From Nkranza, let's come back to Accra, because for the first time ever, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School Presec Legon has clinched their first ever win at the Energy Commission's Renewable Energy Challenge. Now, they won it with a project that blends artificial intelligence and healthcare. Their innovation is an AI-powered system designed to diagnose ailment and assist doctors. And my colleague Jacqueline Ansomayabwa has more in the following report.
My team and I, Presec Legon, the STEM team, we came up with this innovative solution, what we call the HealthPort, a robust system that is fitted with a comprehensive set of sensors.
The boys from Legon Presec dazzled the judges with an innovative AI-powered system designed to deliver primary healthcare services, a brilliant fusion of technology and purpose. The smart machine scans patient, detects ailment, and even conducts live interactive sessions to collect details and make early diagnosis. According to the excited Presec team, their project is just the beginning of something bigger.
A lot of thoughts go through your head, both excitement, nervousness, fear. But I feel like all in all, we still push through, and it's been a very exciting journey all in all. We are really glad that we've made it this far.
The next step is for the project to go international. We want it to go to international. I mean, we want it to compete with the likes of MIT and those days.
I mean, who didn't see this coming? It's like an expected victory every time Presec is in a competition. So all the other competitions that we are going to be in, don't expect to win, because it's always going to be Presec.
Presec is Presec, and Presec is the best. In that light, we shall see light.
A Hunterman Girls Senior High School, who placed second after finishing fifth last year, say the improvement alone feels like a win.
For everything happens for a reason. We are very grateful. We've done our best. Last year we were fifth, but this year we came second. We've done very well. Senior
Manager for Renewable Energy Regulation and Project Coordinator for the Challenge, Julius Nkansa Nyako, praised this year's entries. He assured that the Commission's support won't end here. The goal is to see the innovations brought to life beyond the competition stage.
Get 120 schools to participate in such an activity, then it's very, 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 very good. What really stands out for me has been the project that we had that solved some of the health delivery challenges that we had in the country. And you could tell from the winning project, the one developed by the Presecans, if such a project is developed further, this can be used in remote areas, rural communities, or even in the cities. The Commission is looking beyond just a winning project. We are going to collaborate with our partners to look at all the 6 projects that came to the finals and see how best we can work together to develop all these projects and see which of these could be commercially viable.
So, as the light dim on this year's Renewable Energy Challenge, it's clear Presec Legon has sparked a new wave of innovation that could redefine how technology powers healthcare in Ghana. For Joy News, I'm Jacqueline Ansama Iboa.
Well, congratulations to the Pesek boys. Away from that, the Queen Mother of Agona East, Nana Joan Kansa Ejim III, who also serves as president of the Central Regional Queen Mothers Association, has appealed to the government to urgently rehabilitate the poor road network in the Agona East constituency and its surrounding communities. Now, she described the stretch between Winneba Junction and Agona East as particularly deplorable, stressing that the situation has severely affected economic activities in the area, especially those of women traders and farmers. The following report has more.
Kansa Ejim III said the poor road networks have had far-reaching consequences for the local economy. Farmers struggle to transport their produce to market, traders are losing income due to rising transport fares, and communities are becoming increasingly isolated. She warned that if the issue is not addressed, it could further worsen poverty levels and discourage investment in the area.
Na nimpatema efa na Agona East and West ekwan a eye ebia efi Suedro obefa Konyako to den Bodriase akwan aka nyina asai enu nti yenim sa ye maame de oka obeyo osia oyo na ye fasa akwanja isu asre ye maame se one ye papa eye president John Dramani Mama ono ne Ghana fo ye hope yenim se one ne bedin sawo so na big push no yate edin a woboboy yate Suedro ada akwan no de yante.
MP for Agona East, who presented an 11-seater minibus to the Queen Mothers in the area at a brief ceremony. Queen Star Pokuya Asoya reaffirmed the Mahama administration's commitment to improving infrastructure and social amenities in the constituency.
Today, we particularly spoke about three things: the youth, the water, and then the roads in Agona East. Thankfully, within 8 months of the governance of President Mahama, we've been able to secure so many schools, 6 classrooms and dormitories for Agona East. And then the only thing I would say we haven't started working on it within these 8 months is our roads. And I know we have the big push. I spoke to the roads minister, Honorable Kwame, and he has promised us with the big push that is coming to get the Shedru-Diakwa road done. So I'm waiting for him within the next 1 or 2 weeks. We might move on the road.
The brief ceremony was witnessed by the Central Regional Minister Eko Penyin and the Agona East District Chief Executive Samuel Oscar Mensah, among other officials.
Away from that, the national president of the Conference of Principals of Colleges of Education, Professor Samuel Antitunu, has described the recent report of inappropriate teacher-student relationships as deeply unfortunate. Now, speaking at the closing ceremony of the 2025 Koesa Sport Festival in Cape Coast, Professor Antitunu reaffirmed the commitment of college principals to producing new generation of disciplined, ethical, and professional teachers. He emphasized that beyond sport, such platforms play a vital role in shaping values, teamwork, and respect amongst teacher trainees.
Can you believe if Ghana export even 1,000 athletes a year, the revenue that it will have brought to the country? It will be so great.
The 12th Biennial Sports Festival of the Colleges of Education Sports Association, COSA, united Ghana's 46 colleges of education for a week-long spirited competition and celebration across several sporting disciplines. At the closing ceremony, President of the National Conference of Principals of Colleges of Education, Professor Samuel Antitunu, praised organizers and participants and weighed in on recent controversies involving teacher-student relationships.
I think it is unfortunate about what happened recently at one of the secondary schools concerning some relationships between a teacher and then a student. For us, I stand to say that we are totally against it as managers of the colleges, and the teachers that we train ethically, the students or the people who come into their classrooms, the teacher is supposed to protect them. And that is not acceptable professionally and on moral and ethical basis. So we continue to inculcate in our teachers moral and ethical values that when you are standing in a classroom before a people, the people have trust in you. Parents have trust in you. So you are the number one person who should protect them if somebody is exhibiting that relationship. So as Prinkoff Chair, I'm against it, and to assure you that the teachers that we're training will ensure we don't have such things happening.
COSA's national president, Very Reverend Dr. Joseph Inchia Samoa, lauded the athletes for their impressive performances and highlighted the critical role of discipline in teacher training.
Those who have some disagreements use the appropriate channels for redress. This shows that as teacher trainees, they are law-abiding, and we continue to instill that kind of discipline in them. No, sports is about discipline. So if they are able to exhibit this kind of discipline, then we are happy. We know that after here, when they go to their various schools as teachers, they also try and allow their students to be disciplined.
The Ashanti, Bono and Ahafo regions Ashba zone emerged overall champions. Some team members emphasized perseverance and teamwork in advice to encourage future participants.
This year, especially those people that we use for the competition, most of them are in the level 100. And I'm sure next 3 years or next 2 years by now, they can do it again.
Let's do business now. But before that, how much is the dollar trading against the cedi? Well, let's find out in the currency market. You're welcome back. Now, the price of gold has hit record levels on the international market. Various international trading platforms are quoting slightly above $4,000 an ounce earlier today. Now, the development may come with some excitement for the economy. But are there challenges ahead with that? Well, there's more in the following report.
For some individuals, the immediate impact will be on the country's export earnings from the commodity. Data from the Bank of Ghana show that as of the end of August this year, Ghana realized more than $11 billion from gold exports. This was far higher than the $6.6 billion in August 2024, and these are only the official figures. The development has also gone a long way to help improve Ghana's international reserves, which have now reached more than $10 billion. This puts the Bank of Ghana in a strong position to support the cedi's stability. It is believed that together with Ghana's gold purchase program, strong export earnings and the dollar reserve accumulation program have played a major role in the cedi's sharp appreciation earlier this year. Some market watchers have even argued that soaring gold prices earlier this year also contributed to the recent economic stability the country is enjoying. But the interesting bit about these rising gold prices is their impact on illegal small-scale mining, popularly known as galamsey. Some industry players have argued that one of the major drivers of galamsey is the rising price of gold. This could push more people into the environmental menace we are trying hard to stop. Well, global investment giant Goldman Sachs has even projected that it could hit $5,000 before the end of this year.
Away from that, financial analyst Nelson Kujo-Kwagbeji has expressed doubt banks will comply with the Bank of Ghana's appeal to lower their lending rates to support economic recovery and private sector growth. Now, he argues the continuous rise of non-performing loans will deter commercial banks to lower their rates on credit advanced to the private sector. Now, speaking to Joy Business's head of finance at Melbourne Capital, Nelson Kujo-Kwagbeji said it will be difficult for the banks to comply.
That is a very difficult one, because if you have a non-performing loans of 21% and you still want to give loans to the private sector, most especially the SMEs, the challenge we have in our country has to do with cost of capital. Now, do you think it would be prudent to give loans to somebody at 25% and the person will end up paying? What kind of business would the person do in a year to pay 25% interest? And so if interest rates should come down to, let's say, single digits, I believe the businesses in Ghana could go to the banks, borrow and pay. And that will eventually lead to the reduction of the non-performing loans of the bank. But to the extent that the borrowing rates or the cost of borrowing is very high, businesses will continue to default, most especially businesses that are into government contracts.
And that's it for business right here on the AM show. But of course, we'll leave you with the commodity market. And right after, bring you sports. My name is Noella Karaniali. We've got a packed show ahead. Stay tuned in.